Hello and welcome back. In this module, I'm going to help give you a better understanding about digestion and how it relates to having a healthy body and, most importantly, a healthy lifestyle. So obviously what we eat is directly to how we feel, both physically and emotionally. And digestion is what we call the doorway to having the best health. And the reason being is because all the systems in our body actually depends on having a healthy digestive tract in order to be healthy. So you need to understand that the beauty of your body, your health, and your hair actually depends on the health of your gut. And the health of your immune system depends on the health of your gut. And also the health of your mind and your moods and your emotions also depends on how healthy your gut is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to explore why your gut is this doorway to ultimate health and wellness. So according to Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, a well-functioning gut with healthy gut flora actually holds the roots to our health. And just like a tree that has stick roots, it's not going to thrive, right? So the rest of the body cannot thrive without having a well-functioning digestive system. And the Invisible Belly program helps to heal and restore your gut through eating the right foods. Now, I'm going to talk about ways that you can tell if your body's out of balance. So when our gut experiences any type of an imbalance, we tend to experience the following symptoms: constipation, acid reflux, and also poor sleep. Also, excessive gas, IBS, chronic, colds and headaches. So these are all symptoms of imbalances. So let's dive a little deeper so that you can actually understand how the digestive system works. And you might even remember some of this from health class when you were in school. So remember, digestion begins in the mouth and it continues through the esophagus, the stomach, the small intestines, and then the colon, right? And the goal of digestion is to sort out the good nutrients from the bad nutrients from what we're eating, so that our body can actually break everything down and then assimilate what it needs for us to thrive. So, a little side note here. You want to understand how important it is to chew your food when it comes to digestion. A lot of my clients laugh at me, but you really need to get into the habit of chewing your food. It's extremely important that you chew your food properly at least 30 times. I know. And I know because what this does is this actually supports digestion by naturally producing the digestive enzymes in your mouth through your saliva. And believe it or not, most people chew less than 10 times before they swallow their food. It's like everybody's in a hurry, but you want to get into the habit of chewing more and more because this helps digestion so much. So I want to now give you a sneak preview inside your digestive system. Once again, you may remember this from health class. So as you can see, and this is most important, is that our digestive system, it's all connected together, right? So once again, this is giving you a good visual and an understanding that if one organ isn't functioning properly, then it's going to affect all the others within the same system. For example, if the liver's being weighed down by toxins from not eating good foods or having too much alcohol or packaged foods, can't you see how this might affect the other symptoms? You may once again begin to experience a lot of unwanted yet common symptoms like a stomach ache or fatigue or gas or bloating, right? So that's why it is so important to take care of and support all of the organs, because they all work together as one large system. So now we're going to talk about gut flora. So here's kind of the basics. So gut flora consists of a complex of microorganism species that live in the digestive tracts. Kind of see all these little guys, they look like little Pac-Man guys, right? But get this, the number of bacteria that actually lives in your gut, guess how many there are? There's over 100 trillion. Now that's a whole lot of little bacteria living there, right? And so research shows that your gut flora can affect all kinds of processes in your body, including your metabolism, how much energy you have, your nutrition, how well your body's breaking down foods, and your genetic expression. And this comes from Mercola, the book on how your gut flora influences your health. It's a really good book if you're interested in reading more. So now let's talk about good bacteria versus bad. So as you can see, it is, really important that you maintain a proper balance within our gut, and let me explain why. So we need to have a good balance of both good and bad bacteria. So what is the healthy balance? A healthy balance would be 85% good bacteria and 15% bad bacteria. So when you have a good, healthy gut balance, it allows us to have healthy digestion and once again makes us feel good. So by taking care of our gut, we can ditch the Tums and the Rolaids and stop having to run to the doctor for prescriptions to help reduce gas or relieve heartburn. And when we take care of what's causing our digestive troubles, our digestive system takes care of us. All right, so now let's take a good look at some benefits of good bacteria, because we want both bad and good, but we want 85% of good bacteria and 15% of bad bacteria. So here's some of the benefits of good bacteria. It helps to absorb nutrients, infection and disease prevention, decrease food allergies, obviously good digestion, regulated body weight, which is obviously what we want, right? And once we regulate that, your digestive system, the weight comes off and it never comes back. Also, it helps to reduce inflammation. Inflammation is something that keeps weight on us and, is one of the reasons we get overweight and have a lot of illnesses. We want to synthesize nutrients such as vitamin K, B12, biotin, and medium-chain fatty acids, right? So now let's look at one of my favorite flat belly hacks. So I would like to suggest a morning elixir in your diet, which is why I have such a flat stomach. Is the first thing in the morning is I take, a coffee cup and I take a mug of warm water, not boiling, and then I put in a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a half of a lemon, and I drink that before I have any coffee or I have any breakfast or anything. And basically what this is like a probiotic, and it helps to get rid of the bad bacteria and then increase the good bacteria. So now, if you're new to having apple cider vinegar, I don't want you to start out with a whole tablespoon. You want to start out with a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, because what happens is, it goes into the gut, and if you've got a lot of bad bacteria in there, it starts to clean that up. And sometimes you could have gas, or you could have bloating, or you could have a stomach ache. And so I don't want to put too much good bacteria all at once if we're still working on getting rid of the bad. So just start with that. So once again, this is also a naturally occurring probiotic. So let's talk about leaky gut basics. Some of you may have heard the term leaky gut or gut dysbiosis. I've actually referred to leaky gut in some of the other tutorials. So leaky gut syndrome, which is also called increased intestinal permeability, right? And is a result of damage to the intestinal lining. And leaky gut is actually a term you probably won't hear about from your doctor unless you see a naturopathic doctor who recognizes and supports, treatment like having whole anti-inflammatory foods like we're doing here on this diet. So leaky gut is linked to celiac disease, GERD, IBS, allergies, heart disease, autism, IBS, Crohn's disease, mental disorders as well. So leaky gut is really, really bad. So now here's some symptoms of leaky gut. It could be fatigue, food allergies, common cold, weakened immune system, anxiety and depression, adrenal fatigue, inability to lose weight, which we've talked about before, and also skin problems. So here are what we call the gut flora disruptors. So if you have gut flora disruptors in our lives, it's going to make having a healthy digestive system, it's much more difficult to have. So here are some of the things that actually disrupt your gut flora. Antibiotics. A lot of people are chronic on antibiotics. Poor diet with sugar, sweeteners, dairy, corn, peanuts, soy, wheat, and eggs, packaged foods, right? Chronic stress, environmental toxins, digestive distress when you've got low stomach acid, and also toxic overload. Pretty scary, huh? So now let's talk about how we can improve it. In addition to the elimination diet or the healthy, invisible belly diet that I have you on, how do we improve gut flora? Well, first, we eliminate as many of the toxins that we have control over. Have a clean diet that you're doing now that doesn't include packaged foods or gluten or dairy or excess of sugar or peanuts or soy or any foods that you may have reactions to. And what we can do is we can include probiotics, which is live bacteria, the good bacteria. Prebiotics, which is actually the food for probiotics, and also fermented foods. I touched upon fermented foods when we had the tutorial on soy, so you can refer back to that if you'd like. So here are some foods to improve digestion and to also boost your immune system. So superfoods like chlorella, camu, raw cacao, and bee pollen, green foods, any foods that are rich in chlorophyll, foods rich in vitamin D or sunlight, getting some good sunlight 20 minutes a day, cod liver oil, sardines, yogurt, kefir, and I have eggs here, but obviously those are eggs that are from a farm, all right, free-range eggs. Foods that are rich in zinc, like oysters, turkey, kefir, yogurt, medicinal foods like miso, kefir, yogurt, sprouts, coconut and coconut oil, berries of any kind, raw apple cider vinegar like I spoke about before. And these are some good herbs and spices, are garlic, oregano, turmeric, and black pepper. So here's some healing and repair ideas. So these are foods that can actually restore your digestion. Fermented foods, miso and kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and Inner Eco, Biocult, Good Belly, and yogurt, mainly non-dairy. And probiotic supplements are an easy way to ensure that your body is consuming enough good guys for a healthy gut. So consuming probiotics and prebiotics are essential for healthy gut flora. Once again, underneath this video are some suggestions from Life Extensions, and you can buy some good probiotics and prebiotics. Here's a little bit of information on prebiotics. So prebiotics are non-digestible foods that move through the digestive system and actually helps the good bacteria to grow. And then prebiotics are food for the good bacteria in your gut. When the probiotics and prebiotics are combined, you have the combination for a healthy gut, and that's what we want. So here are some prebiotic foods. Raw chicory root, raw Jerusalem artichoke, raw dandelion greens, raw garlic, raw leeks, raw and cooked onions, all right, raw bananas and asparagus, and I love bananas. So, once again, the number one reason that we want to improve our digestion is because by improving your digestion with healthy foods, prebiotics, and probiotics, you will feel a lot healthier and have a lot of energy.